Okay, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam. It's the night after WrestleMania Night 2. We are all absolutely mother-beeping shattered. It's been 2 epic days at the Macau Casino, Cork City, where we hosted Night 1 and Night 2. Night 1 will go down as probably the most legendary night in the Macau Casino. What an atmosphere. I can still hear the Cody chants, the Usos chants. And we'd like to thank everyone that turned up to the Macau Casino Cork for both nights. Incredible. And we look forward to SummerSlam, the Royal Rumble, and many more pay-per-views as time goes on. And we'll have a little announcement coming in the coming days with a special after party. All I'm going to say is April 15th. Stay tuned, okay? We'll have more details, hopefully, in the coming days. So do stay tuned for that. So, first of all, WrestleMania. It's still trending right now, guys. I'm going to go right into it. For me, the highlight of WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, the return of Cody Rhodes. Joe, first of all, what was your thoughts on Cody coming back? We were iffy before the match started, but look, it was perfect. Seth came to the ring. There was a little pause for about 3-4 minutes. Fireworks went off, and bang. So what was your thoughts on that, first of all, my man?
I thought it was a perfect way to bring him out. There was talk of what I said that Shane was going to be there and Shane might introduce him or Shane might get involved in something. I'm glad he didn't show up at all on either night. It went off without a bang. Cody, I'm delighted he got his whole AEW stick, like the Homelander cape and his fucking hair and his tattoo on show and his own music, and it just shows that maybe they are going to, let him be himself. Like, they might overly script him, and obviously Stardust is a fucking thing of the past, thank fuck. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with him. Hopefully there's a new title belt or some reason where he's going to get pushed to the top of the card as soon as he starts off Monday Night Raw.
Love it. Matt Murphy, you were there in the flesh. You were part of the Cody chants at Macau Casino Cork. Obviously, you're a big fan. We know Cody done some amazing things when he went to All Elite Wrestling. Obviously, up his stock. He's back. He's back home, as people will say. What was your thoughts on Cody coming out and the match itself?
Yeah, I mean, I rewatched the entrance at WrestleMania, and I know this is random, but you remember when Eric Bischoff made his debut at Raw, and we all couldn't believe it. WCW guy is on WWE for that long. It felt like that. An AEW guy, Cody Rhodes, on WWE. He of course, he was on WWE before, but it was just weird. Just like, I know this is bad to say, bizarre, just to see his AEW debut, his whole gimmick, his old American Nightmare gimmick. But that just proves that WWE is now aware of the Forbidden Door. They're now aware how much of a big deal this guy is. And I can see that they're going to use Cody Rhodes at least. With, of course, we said it with Phil yesterday, rivalry with Seth Rollins. I want to see him go after the title, the big one. He hasn't got that yet in WWE because Vince dropped the ball. But now that Stardust is gone, the ridiculous gimmicks, Cody is just being Cody. I was skeptical, like all of you. I was like, how is WWE going to use him? But like, I'm gonna actually trust WWE on this one. But if they drop the ball, Cody, congratulations, Vince. You actually done the impossible by taking over a big name like Cody. But at the moment, happy out. Glad to see Cody back in WWE. Gutted that it's gonna be weird that not having him in AEW, but he's happy out. He admits it, being back in WWE. So delighted for him.
Good stuff. Phil, you were there in the flesh as well. It was a great night. But look, Cody's back. It was the right call. What was your thoughts on the comeback? Obviously, he's repackaging himself, since he's left the company and come back. He's a different kettle of fish. He really has all the cards in his hand right now. But are we going to see Cody go on an absolute rampage? Is he going to get good treatment? Has he got some contract agreement where he's going to go after titles, big titles? And is it a good move for Cody?
I wonder, is this the start of contracts being not creative control, but like you have to use me right?
Yeah.
Because like creative control would be a disaster. They'd never ever give that out again. It's just because I heard it was just a handshake deal, and that a handshake deal means nothing.
Yeah, this day and age it means nothing anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I loved about the match was the bionic elbow, and it was just the Dusty tribute was amazing. It was just quite, and and you said like the atmosphere when that happened, the whole place just blew up.
Is it one of the biggest, if not the biggest, pops you've ever seen, Phil?
In the recent memory, it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I was going to joke there and say Vair's going to take him out, but I won't.
We'll have to come to Vair towards the end of the show, but like lads, it's we've seen how many views it's done. Worldwide, it's been shared on every platform. Now I was trying to be observant. Now I might have missed something, but did anyone from All Elite send Cody a message on Twitter? Anyone see any?
Loads.
Yeah.
That's good news. That's great news.
Most of them are positive.
Like the Young Bucks put up a thing, but it was a joke and it was kind of funny.
They're just trolling. They do that for fun.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Obviously, look, Forbidden Doors, the thing that was open a while back. Obviously, Cody's contract ended. He's come back home, as they're saying. The match itself was brilliant, lads. But it's fair to say, guys, that Seth Rollins played a massive part in this. He deserves a lot of credit, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He was outstanding in the match. Even just selling him coming out, into the ring, and halfway through the match saying, welcome back, from the minor leagues or major leagues, whatever it is that he said, and then this is my company. And the fact that Seth Rollins lost another WrestleMania match, which is like 3 or 4 in a row at this stage.
Yeah.
But he always seems to get a big match after WrestleMania. He lost to who did he lose to? Kevin Owens at the Empty Arena show and got a title match the next month, and he lost last year to Cesaro, and he was in the title picture 2 or 3 times straight after WrestleMania. So losing doesn't hurt Seth Rollins, so it was good that they let Cody go over him, because Cody shouldn't have lost. There's no reason for Cody to be losing his first match back.
What I found hilarious about Seth Rollins was he used Becky's old gear that she didn't want to use.
He's very creative. I absolutely love Seth. To me, right now, lads, Seth's top 3, top 4.
Yeah,
it looked like sensational Sherry fucking gear he was wearing.
Yeah. He really is. You know what I mean? Not only is he a good wrestler, you know what I mean, but he's got great presence. You know what I mean? And we're all doing a laugh before, and when he was in the ring, I think everyone. But like he's I wouldn't be surprised if he went on a bit of a run this year, lads. So like I always get Mania, to me, when Mania finishes, it's like starting a new year. It's like the new year. But like in the next campaign up to next Mania, like I would not be surprised if Seth somehow gets back into that title picture, Phil.
It could happen. I think Cody Rhodes is a banker for a title match next WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank, Cody Rhodes, Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank or Rumble, yeah, he's going to do one of them. Yeah,
definitely one of them.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, we've seen some great matches. Like, surprisingly enough, lads, Sami Zayn, Knoxville was a really good match. So I'm going to go to that, lads. We watched it yesterday, day 2. There's some great parts to it, but sure, it was a surprisingly good match, wasn't it? Sami Zayn and Knoxville, and there was some nice little touches. Chris Pontius coming out as party boy. Wee man slamming Sami Zayn. It was good. It was a good watch, wasn't it?
It was hilarious. I laughed the whole way through it. It was just perfect for what they wanted it to be. Like, you couldn't have pulled it off with any other celebrity. Like, Johnny Knoxville. He's obviously done some training. Like, he didn't look out of place. In the ring, like, he took bumps, like somebody who's taken bumps before, and he's got probably a higher threshold of pain than most of us. So, some of the stuff they did, like even the bowling ball, poor Sammy's balls was fucking hilarious. And I said it last week, like, poor Sammy's going to get hit in the balls a load of times, and he did get hit in the balls a load of times. So,
he probably needs to manscape it.
Speaking of
segue into Manscaped,
you dropped it way well. So guys, if you are tuned into our show, as always, don't forget to check out manscaped.com. Your promo code, as always, is WrestleSlam, 20% off plus free delivery, the Manscaped 4.0 package, and more. Head on over to manscaped.com, guys. As I said, they proudly are behind the WrestleSlam podcast. 8 million balls worldwide, 4 million people. They're looking after you. You know what I mean? Silky smooth, you know what I mean? No cut, fast and effective shave. And if you get lost in the dark, there's also a light, attachments and more, many oils and such. Check manscaped.com, guys. Proudly behind WrestleSlam podcast. And the promo code, yet again, is WrestleSlam. So do check it out. But, guys, we have to get back to Mania yet again. And look, Pat McAfee, right? Now, I'm going to say this guy is an absolute national treasure. He is fucking... I just love the whole thing with Vince, first of all. And then, beforehand. But, Phil... what's your take on Pat? This guy is just, he gets better and better as time goes on.
Yeah, it's just, did you see the sign that said Pat McAfee equals ratings?
Yeah, he does equal ratings. He does. And
yeah.
I was all against it when he first signed. I didn't think anything was going to happen. I thought, look.
But I think he's just a big fanboy that's just living his dream. Even like that entrance is just heaven for him.
Well, that entrance was incredible. But even the lead up to the match, and then the whole kicking the ball, we were saying, is it really not? We know. I only found out last night that he was actually in the NFL, which was something I didn't know. So that's pretty surreal. But Austin Theory, first of all, guys, he's obviously the next big thing. I know Vince is behind him and stuff. The match itself was interesting, but Pat put on some pretty good work. But when you looked at the match in general, for me, it was definitely, an 8 or 9 out of 10. But Matt, what was your thoughts on the match itself before Vince came out and stole the show?
Yeah, I actually, I didn't know what to make of the match at first. I just thought it was just going to be a random grapple here and there, toss each other in the corner. But no, Pat McAfee actually, he knew his way around the ring. I think he needed this type of match, to be honest. Because before commentary, he was known as this one know-it-all on NXT that had a rivalry with the Undisputed Era, and then he came to SmackDown. I do believe what Mike Cole said before, that Pat may saved his career somewhere because he made it entertaining. Seeing Pat actually being used that way and facing against Austin Theory was actually brilliant, I thought. So I actually absolutely loved the match. I know I didn't have high or low expectations. It was going to be something we were going to see. So, but Austin Theory, if Vince says to you that you're going to be the next big thing, he's going to be the next big thing. I know he said it to Drew McIntyre, but Drew's now the big thing now, one of the big wrestlers at the moment. So, high hopes for Austin Theory for the young lads, for God's sake. But yeah, enjoyed it anyway.
Definitely.
It was a weird one. There was a couple of things I didn't like about it. I didn't like how Pat he looked. They shouldn't have. They should have brought Austin out way earlier.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Pat looked a bit weak when he was taking those clotheslines and?
Yeah, he didn't need to look. There was no reason for Vince and Pat to have a match. That should never have happened.
Yeah. I mean, it was really cool when he took his jacket off and everyone popped. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it's just it didn't need a match. It was a good segment. It was hilarious.
It was very good. I liked
it. But I didn't. I agree. Pat did look weak. Bumping to Vince. It didn't make any sense story wise. It's not like they're going to have a match to follow up. In the future. And
then they fucked up by playing the wrong song.
I know. And Vince reacted to it.
We were like, well, Austin's gonna come out because Vince's reaction. So, oh god,
it was mad. It was mad. But we'll head to night one yet again. Just given the fact we'll go through night one, night two. Obviously, we were speaking beforehand, guys, and we were on about the promos and stuff. Obviously, we know Sheamus's match was cut from night one. Luckily enough, they got on to night two, but promo wise and package wise, there was a lot going on. I think overall there was less than an hour of matches.
In night one, there was 1 hour and 30 minutes of wrestling.
13, is it? Yeah. So it was low, but
it was bad.
Go to the Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. Obviously, Charlotte winning by pinfall. That match was just close to under 20 minutes. But Phil, what was your thoughts on the match? Did you like the match? Was it a bad match?
I'm delighted Charlotte won, but there's a lot more underlying problems with it.
Do you think Ronda's trying to play it off? We've seen she put up a little status saying, "Look, it's all BS," but there's obviously.
Oh yeah, she had to.
Yeah.
There's definitely something there, but I don't know what it is, and I don't think it's as bad as what they're making it out to be.
Yeah, it's been blown up.
They don't have any chemistry. That's the thing. they just don't match. Like, you know, it was same with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. Like, you know, their feud was the same. It just, there's no chemistry between them. Like, you put, like I said, if you had to put Becky and Ronda together, it would have been perfect. And Bianca and Charlotte would have had great chemistry. Like, you know, those would have been great matches.
They're all next year's matches.
But you know, Bianca and Becky had a great match. No, don't get me wrong. I just think Bianca and Charlotte might have had a more athletic style matches. You know, it might have been a better matchup for them. But I don't know why Ronda and Charlotte don't have any chemistry, because they didn't.
They had
the feud
spells
built
where
up
there was like 5 minutes and the match was good.
It was just sloppy. There was a lot of, you know, it didn't seem like they were on the right page. Like,
Do you reckon it's because Ronda was told she was losing?
I don't know. I don't know.
But she is known for like throwing hissy fits.
Still though.
Hard to know, but it was just, look, to me, I thought it could have been a better match, guys. I'm going to put it out there. For me, it wasn't a great match. No, on paper, a great match. I think it could have been.
According to Ric Flair, it was the greatest women's match of all time.
Yeah, Rick would say that. Like, Rick has been having a great weekend out in Texas. He's been turning up at bars and this and that. Rick, I love you, my man, but I think you're wrong with this one. I think it was a decent match. It wasn't great. It should have been great. A lot of kind of, you know what I mean? A lot of things could have went wrong in that match, in my opinion. But look, that's only my opinion. There's a million opinions. You know, maybe no one will agree with me. Maybe one person will agree with me. The Miz, obviously, look, The Miz and Logan Paul versus Mysterio, Dominic Cruz. Matt, that match really surprised a lot of people, especially the you know, people don't like Logan Paul in general, but like, he was pretty good, wasn't he, Matt?
I'm gonna have to give the devil his due. In fact, you know, the devil is more sounded than Logan Paul. But anyway, yeah, he actually did show what he can do. Like he actually put on like a good performance. Like, so I learned like not to take these. Don't have low expectations with these celebrity matches. They will actually like surprise you. So
they were good this year.
Yeah, so I was actually surprised with the match. How it went really well. Like, Logan took it like an actual professional along with the Miz. I got a feeling that Logan's gonna stick around having a rivalry with the Miz.
Yeah,
that's the one downside. I was like, oh, he did pretty good. Now he's gonna stick around longer. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. I'm saying this as a surprise standpoint. I thought the Mysterios was gonna like squash him, but no, that the celebrity wins. So it was just surprised with the match. And I was already had a bad taste like a rare Pokemon card just for an entrance, but I was like, let that one slide just a bit. But
love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, that match for me did stand out. It was a good match. I think it was better than the Rosie and Charlotte match. You mentioned the chemistry beforehand. You said it should be the other way around with the matches. I think any, you know, fan in the universe of wrestling would say the exact same thing. But it was a good match. We've seen Bianca had a nice little shiner to show afterwards, which is, I suppose, that's a respect thing. I think, look, it was a hard match. But what was your thoughts on that match, Joe? Obviously, look, it was definitely close to a 5-star for you, no doubt.
That was the match of the night for night one for me.
Yeah.
They smashed it again. Bianca smashed it a second year in a row where she did a title match and she won, and the match was the match of the night for night one. Everything was perfect in the match. You know, the build up. Thankfully, they didn't go into talking about their fucking haircuts, and they just got on with it. But they sold the story perfectly. I can't fault the match in any way. Botch fucking, you know, Molly go round or not into the face. It was still a perfect match for me for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
it just goes to show that Bianca should have won the Royal Rumble.
She can't win them all.
Yeah, but no, she's highly thought of in the company, lads. She is the future of that brand and you know, female division in general. I think Charlotte will go on as the greatest, but Bianca, guys, should be up there. She'll be definitely around for a long time lock-in. Good match. I think personally, lads, it was one of my favorite matches too. I really, really loved it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had the Usos. They defeated Shinsuke Nakamura, and obviously Poor old Rick had a really bad injury. We're wishing Rick all the best. He's a guy that we absolutely adore. You know, we're massive fans. You know, Freddie Mercury and Rick Rude's love child. You know, Slash and an awesome threesome. But Drew McIntyre, obviously, Happy Corbin. We could have said it was going to be a short match. I think it was 8 minutes. That match obviously went down, and Drew got the win. Obviously, Cody came back night one, defeated Seth Rollins. You know, good duration in that match, over 20 minutes. The Miz and Paul Hogan defeated the Mysterios. Charlotte Flair defeated Ronda Rousey by pinfall. Ending the night, guys, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens. We got our match, and guys, it was better than we expected. Phil, it was a lot better than what we expected was going to happen. They actually ended up putting on a decent little show.
It was so good. Like, and the thing is, like, I was actually cringing when he did the suplexes. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
His neck. Oh, it was, you know, like, it was just great to see Austin back fighting and not phoning it in.
And he looked pretty good.
Like, he had a proper baller. Like,
he didn't look too stiff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a proper ball. Like, I think it was about 15 minutes.
Yeah. It was
and Kevin Owens is the most biggest fanboy of Austin, so I just delighted for him. It was great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the documentaries. We're probably going to see stuff, lads, in the near days where they're going to show backstage afterwards and stuff. We might see Owens and Austin have a little toast, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely. I was thinking of saying to you, was like, even though Stone Cold was taking most of the match and Kevin Owens, like, you know, getting the bumps, back of his mind, he's thinking, this is fucking unreal. I'm in the ring with a man I idolize, like, so it's a fair play to Kevin Owens, man.
Did you see the little meme going around today, guys? There was a meme of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Obviously, they're you know, best friends, and it was back to when they were probably, you know, teenagers. And like what they done at WrestleMania this year, obviously, you know, Sami fighting Knoxville, but given the magnitude of that fight, and then Owens and Austin, pretty fucking cool to see how far they've both come, and both fairly underrated, especially Sami Zayn. We were saying that Owens has got the bigger pushes, but Sami Zayn is so underrated, isn't he?
Oh God, he is, man.
Kevin Owens main evented WrestleMania, and they didn't need a title.
There you
go.
know,
many times have they been pushing for main eventing with the title? Like, you know, it didn't need it at all.
Yeah.
It was that's the type of star. That's the type of star now that Kevin Owens needs to be going forward. Like, he doesn't need a title. You know, give him the title here and there. Like, but he's a main eventer. Like, he can main event shows now without a title. Like, and that's what's missing from WWE. They're focused so much on Roman and Brock and the title that, you know, they haven't been pushing anybody else. And, you know, if you're not in the title picture, you're not really getting pushed. But to be actually main event WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin without a title, that's fucking huge.
Surreal. Exactly. It's itself an absolute feat. But it's, I'm going to say, lads, I don't know, will you agree with me, but I thought night one was better than night two.
Yeah, just about.
Night one.
Night one as well, Phil, yeah?
Yeah, night one, just about. Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
I think the Cody thing and the Bianca match and just leveled us a little bit.
Night two was funnier.
Yeah.
There was a lot more funny bits in night two than there was in night one.
Yeah. I wonder how Vince is feeling this morning. I wonder is he a bit stiff? Is the quad's a bit tight? But we'll go to night two. It's yet again, look, it was last night, it's fresh to the minds. But we had our longest match. There was a lot more matches obviously on night two. Our longest match, first of all, Edge versus AJ Styles. Phil, what was your thoughts on that match? Look, we've seen a little thing at the end. We've seen a new update. It's going to be a new stable, obviously. But look, what's your thoughts on it?
This match actually annoyed me because they did not live anywhere near what it should have been.
Yeah.
Did AJ smack his face off something on the way out?
No, I think the fireworks shot him.
No, it was the entrance sign when he's walking out. He actually clipped off it. There's a video going around of him actually clipping off it.
He was raging.
Yeah, a lot of people thought, oh, he's that pumped to face Edge, but like, no, he's just really pissed off and he just wants to get the match.
I think this is going to go down as one of the most overrated WrestleMania matches when all said and done.
Yeah.
It was good. I didn't think it was great.
Didn't think it was great.
I liked it.
Interesting.
I mean,
What are we going to say? What you're going to say?
No, I liked it. I thought it was a good match. I know that it wasn't, the best match on either night, like, but in general, like, they're both well in their prime at this stage, like, they're still putting on.
Did you feel like there was just something missing with it?
There was, because I think they were building to the crescendo of Damien Priest in this new heel stable. That was the main focus of the match, because the amount of chances that AJ had of actually pinning him throughout the match, and Damien Priest showing up at the very last second and just looking at AJ to distract him to win. I thought they should have done more with that. Not just look at him, maybe take the referee out for fucking 20 seconds, have Priest come out and take AJ out with his finisher and let Edge win like that way. What might have been a bit more impactful, because it was just he basically looked up at him.
Speaking of this faction, who do you reckon is going to be in it?
Hopefully Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I've seen going to just say that.
I hope so.
But I'm the kind of guy. I'm fucking more for this. But I'll see one guy that would put up a tweet, right, and I'll not refer to that tweet, but I'll kind of fucking start the hype train. But he was saying, obviously, AJ Styles WrestleMania 34. If you remember, he fought Shinsuke.
Yeah.
And that match was hyped to be the fucking biggest thing ever. And that match was a flat match as well.
Yeah.
So that's two occasions he said where AJ is one of the greatest ever. But obviously,
and also as well, Royal Rumble with Daniel Bryan was the exact same.
Yeah, 3 flat matches that were built to be fucking supreme. And look, they were great matches, but they didn't live up to the 6-star. You know what I mean? It was close, but so I don't know. Is it just one of them teams? Is AJ
too much pressure?
Yeah,
it's too much pressure.
It's strange, but good match in general, guys. I must say I did like that. Now we obviously had RK Bro. They started off triple threat tag team. That was interesting. Yeah. Obviously, RK Bro came out on top. We seen Lashley, and almost singles match quite fast, but we were surprised that Bobby got the win, weren't we, Phil?
Yeah, and the thing is, with Bobby winning, I think that's Omos is dead now.
Yeah, it's going to be on
in the water.
WWE.com in the morning. Thank you for your time. And
well, his push is over. Like I can't see him coming back from this.
No. What can you do?
I can see Veer beating him in a few weeks' time.
I can see Veer beating him. That'll be his debut, beating Omos on his debut in Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Raw tonight would be pretty epic. We also had many more matches, but look, we'll go to the next one. Obviously, look, Sasha Banks, her first win at WrestleMania, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's mad. That is mental.
Yeah. Sasha and Naomi, obviously getting
very random, but Liv Morgan and Rhea should have won.
Agreed.
I was putting for them because I wanted Liz to get her moment, like the proper moment, and use Rhea Ripley but
Yeah, but look, that could mean something about Rhea Ripley, that she's obviously going to go and join the Edge of Stable. So that's probably...
Hope so.
Hopefully.
Let's see. She'll probably punch Liv Morgan this week, and that's it. We spoke about Edge and AJ. Obviously, Sheamus, Rich Holland, and Butch. Butch was like a little terrier. They got their 1 minute and 40-second match. Unfortunately, they worked all year for that match. So look, the New Day. Obviously, Xavier Kobe.
Why not just put it on the pre-show and give them 12 minutes? Like, there's not one match on any night of the pre-show.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement, guys. It's one of them things that was probably handled wrong. But they were on the card anyway, and I suppose.
Well, the only reason they were on the card is because they got hate on Twitter.
Yeah, but power to the people. Power to the people.
It wasn't a WrestleMania match though. Like, that should never have been on the card. Like, once Biggie got injured, they should have pulled it. Or come up with something else, like, or stuck Ricochet in with the New Day and had the 6-man tag match. Give Ricochet a fucking payday or something. Like,
I think that was respect for the New Day. Like, we know merchandise boys are probably the greatest ever in all of the history of the company to make money and look at such a big brand. But yeah, I think that was probably just a respect thing for the New Day and the fact Big E broke it.
It's just when I saw New Day losing, I was just compare. I remember when Kofi and Big E was champion and Xavier Woods won King of the Ring. Remember when that happened? This year's not New Day's year so far, unfortunately. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's mad. We know Pat obviously defeated Austin, and then obviously Mr. McMahon defeated Pat. Austin came out. Now we've got about 5 minutes left, lads. Vince and Austin at the end. The worst stunner of all time, Jor. Is it fair to say it was the worst stunner of all time?
It wasn't even a stunner. He didn't even fucking connect. He looked like some poor lad on his first day in the gym on leg day, and he just started to walk, and his legs buckled underneath him, and he couldn't stand up. Or he just drank too much of Austin's new beer, and he just couldn't stand up after.
Did you see him breaking his bollocks laughing? He was actually laughing.
Yeah, he walked away. He's like, I'm not fucking, there's no winning, there's no fucking saving this spot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was mad, but Matt, what was your take on that? It was pretty cool, wasn't it?
So remember when Kevin Owens said that I'm going to give him a stunner the world will be talking about? Well, Kevin Owens did give him a stunner, but we witnessed a stunner that we're going to talk about, and it was the worst one. It was the worst and best one from Austin Theory, but Vince just, Austin being a professional that he is, laughed it off and gave one to, of course, Pat McAfee. And Pat later performed probably the meme of the century with the drink. But yeah, that was a mad one. We knew Austin was going to come out with that fucking botch by Vince, but with the entrance team. But like, yeah, it was just a mad section of WrestleMania in a good and bad way.
Definitely. The headline, night 2, Reigns, Lesnar. Do you know what, lads? Fuck, I don't know what. I
want to say one thing. I was so close. I said 13:44, and it was like 12:40. It was like.
Yeah, it's
You won, Phil. You won it.
I won it. But no, it wasn't great, and it wasn't bad.
I was surprised how unviolent it was when all the hype was about the blood and this fucking passion that they had, and the build-up was so much better than the match.
Yeah. All it was like finisher.
Did Roman
there was no chairs.
Was it?
That again?
The Roman actually pop his shoulder? Or was that just script?
Yeah, no, it looked like it desiccated it.
Yeah. It's none of us really knew for sure what was going to happen in that match. We all hoped The Rock was going to come out.
Yeah.
Rock's man was sighted in the crowd. I don't know, it was at legit, but there was a picture. I don't know, it looked like Mania.
But the best part of the match was Paul Heyman said, "What's wrong with you? My tribal chief."
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
I think
Pop it back.
It was like watching one of the old animes, as in like encouraging a character, or even from the movie Rocky. Come on, Rock, get up, my tribal chief, get up. It was just, that moment was better than the actual match. That's all I'm gonna say about that, lads. Christ.
It was a clean win. That's what shocked me. I thought the Usos or somebody would have got involved, or something would have happened, but it was just clean win. It was just an extended version of his match against Drew. Brock's match against
Their
Drew
best match was the one that you were at, Jar.
Which?
The best one was the one that you were at.
31. Yeah, well, they were fucking. Brock beat the shit out of him, and actually they were both bleeding at that match. I thought there would have been some sort of blood, but obviously Vince doesn't want blood in WWE anymore, so he doesn't want blood and guts.
Well, lads, overall, look, it was a great double header. We know it's in Hollywood next year. It will be interesting, guys. So, as you say, look, this show will be going out on Tuesday, but we'll have all the updates as the week goes on. We'll have an announcement shortly, as I said, April 15th. And either way, look, it's a big day in the calendar anyway. So, look, stay tuned to our Twitter page, WrestleSlam Podcast, and we'll have all the updates there. But from myself, Jerry, from Joe Rush, from Phil, and from Matt, we thank you as always for tuning in. Don't forget manscaped.com. That promo code is WrestleSlam. Do use it. Get 20% off products. And as I said, free delivery as well. And manscaped.com are proudly behind WrestleSlam. So we thank you sincerely for that. We'll be back midweek. And of course, we're back in the studio every Monday. We have a new promo set to launch as well in, I suppose, the next week or so. It's going to be interesting. Phil's been working hard on it, so we have a drop in. Yeah. And as I said, stay tuned to our Twitter page. We have a ticket giveaway for Phoenix Wrestling, guys. Get on over to the Twitter page right now, WrestleSlam. Massive giveaway. I'll tell you how to win them tickets. A pair for Phoenix Wrestling on April 15th as well. So God bless, be safe, guys. I'm going to catch you soon.